we're supposed to drive that way, but I see these weird muddy tracks here, so we're gonna follow them and see what it leads to. We found what we were looking for. Look at that. That looks like a chainsaw. That is weird looking. I'm not sure what you would use that for. There's chickens protecting the chainsaw. I want to touch the chainsaw. I'm gonna touch the chainsaw. Okay, touch the chainsaw. See you later, chainsaw. I don't know why it just looks like a chainsaw, but I think it is some sort of big machine thing used for some sort of cutting mountains, or I could be completely wrong. See you later, chainsaw. All right, well, enough talking about and looking at that chainsaw sort of weird truck thing. I think what it's for is to like dig out a drench sort of thing in the side of the road or some sort of thing like that, but I don't know. If I see it doing something, I'll try to show it to you guys. But anyways, I'd like to talk about my campaign. So if you didn't know, and most of you guys probably do know, but I started an Indiegogo campaign. So I'd like to thank everyone who has been supporting me, because so far it looks like I might end up being able to get one of the lower model drones. I'm actually working on the special edition t-shirts and on the special edition hats and stuff like that for the people who are supporting me. And I'm gonna have the campaign up for like a week, maybe a week and a half more. So this was my first Indiegogo campaign that I've ever done. So I wasn't really sure how exactly to do it, but though it's weird because there's a lot of campaigns on Indiegogo where there's people kind of just like asking for just like free money, and I wasn't really sure exactly how I should do my campaign. So what I did is I put together like a bunch of perks, which I think have pretty good value. So there's perks. Basically what a perk is, if you don't understand exactly, is it's basically you like support a certain amount of money and then you get certain amount of perks or certain perks in return. So some of the perks that I have in there are like, if you support this much money, then you'll get like a special edition t-shirt or like a special edition hat, or you'll get like a shout out or like executive producer, or even like I'll be doing like Google Hangouts. So I wanted the perks to have pretty good value, because I noticed there was a few people commenting, they're like, oh, you're just asking for free money, and I really don't want it to come off like that, because I put together a bunch of perks, a bunch of pretty good perks, so that anyone who supports me in return, it's like they're supporting me by getting perks, like they're getting like a t-shirt or a hat. So anyways, if you'd like to check out that campaign, I'll leave the link directly to it in the description. But I'd like to talk about something which you may have noticed, you may have not. So if you watch Casey Neistat's videos, you notice that whenever he gets something, a new camera, something sent from someone, he literally just like throws it out of the box. He'll like dump it out, or he'll like shove a knife into the box, and he'll like just like throw out like a brand new lens or like the latest camera, which like no one else can really get yet. And I just think that's like kind of disrespectful and kind of just like wasteful, because literally he'll like break a lens, like a brand new lens, like a couple $100 lens, or like a brand new camera within like a couple hours, sometimes like a couple of minutes. So me, I make almost as many videos as him. I try to do a video every day, kind of like a vlog. And so far, surprisingly, I have not destroyed, I've not broken, I haven't lost a single camera, I haven't broken a single lens or any sort of thing. So I'm going to show you guys how I pack my cameras, because not everyone has the luxury of getting like brand new cameras as soon as they break one, or being able to afford new cameras. So when you're starting out and when you only can afford like one camera, you got to take care of it, because if something happens to it, then you could be like cut and you might not be able to make a video for a while. Especially for me, because I live in the middle of Costa Rica. So if I break my camera, then I kind of can't make any videos. So here is my backpack. This is my backpack. This backpack is not only a camera bag for me, it's also an adventure bag, survival kit, travel bag. It's like an everything bag. In my opinion, I have everything I really need in this bag. But I'm just going to show you guys how I pack the camera gear, which I keep in this bag. Alright, so this is kind of a survival kit bag, and I'm not going to go through all of that stuff, but okay. So when you open the first main pocket, opening, like I said, it's not only a camera bag. This backpack is pretty cool. The whole thing will like fold open. So the first thing that you see, this little pouch. In this little pouch, I keep my G7X. So G7X, and whenever I'm not using it, I put it back into this case. Unless I'm like out adventuring, I'm like filming stuff as I walk along. If I'm doing that, then I'll take it out because I'm going to be using it. And the next thing that you see is a little gorilla pod. So this, I have it set up so that it can just slide right in. So this camera I'll usually use for vlogging on adventures or whenever I'm out and about when I can't take a bigger camera. So that's how I have this set up. And whenever I'm not going to be using it for a little while, then I will just take it off and put it back into this little pouch sort of thing. This little pouch thing is made by Statin, and it actually fits a G7X perfectly, like literally perfectly, and it's a hard case, so it's pretty like protective, like if I drop it or something like that. Next, I have this pouch thing. This pouch is supposedly like anti-fire, so if there's a fire inside of the case, the fire will not get out. It'll go out while it's in the bag. The bag's kind of like fireproof. But what I keep inside of here, the reason for it being in this bag, is kind of like batteries, because batteries can be flammable, so it's good to keep them inside of some sort of pouch like this. So the first thing I have is just a charger for an iPhone, and then I have another one of these Statin pouches. This pouch is somehow it fits all this stuff perfectly. Okay, this is all the stuff that I have. So as you can see, a little adapter for USB, G7X charger with an extra battery in it, extra GoPro battery, an extra SD card, and a micro SD card adapter, another extra G7X battery, and a little cloth to clean the camera. So this pouch kind of just happens to fit all of this stuff very perfectly. I was kind of surprised by that, but I guess it's pretty good. It's kind of just like fits in nicely. So as you can see, all of that stays inside of this compartment. So it's pretty easy to get to. I can just open this up and pull it out if I need to get an extra battery or an extra SD card or a charger or anything like that. Oh yeah. And at the bottom of this bag, I keep a charger for a GoPro. Get to that in a second. Surprisingly, all of these things fit into this little pouch pretty nicely. And there's actually a little bit of extra room, so if I need to put some headphones or another charge or anything, there's space. Alright, so this is basically my main camera gear. This is for adventures, for most of my vlogs, and anything like that. Extra batteries, chargers, camera. And then I do keep an extra t-shirt in here, kind of just for extra padding, and if I do need an extra t-shirt because it's pouring rain or something. And then to the GoPro. Here is the GoPro. This is just the Hero 3, and the reason I keep it, and I keep it always in a waterproof case with the floaty piece, because almost the only time I'm going to use a GoPro most of the time, is usually it's going to be in the water. So I find no reason to have all the different back pieces, because if I'm going to use the GoPro out of the water, I most of the time will just take it out of the whole case, and I have it on this selfie stick thing, which actually extends out to a pretty good length. So that's basically everything like camera gear that I keep inside of this bag. So that's basically how I pack this, and it seems to work because so far I haven't destroyed any cameras, I haven't lost anything, and I guess I'll kind of just stick to this because it seems to be working. And it all fits nicely into this backpack, which is the Wii Sport Sparrow, 30 liters. And there's actually extra space in there. So if I'm going on a sleepover or an adventure or anything like that, I have enough space for some extra clothes, maybe even some food. I make sure that, why is the camera still crooked? There we go. I make sure that whenever I'm not using my camera, I always put it back where it belongs, because if I just throw it into my bag, the screen could get scratched, the lens could get scratched, a lot more likely that that'll happen, and also it could get wet, maybe if I'm getting rained on. Okay guys, it literally just started raining. I'm gonna have to get out of here. What? I just started talking about rain, and then it started raining. Alright, well what are the odds that it just starts raining in the middle of me making a video? I guess stuff like that happens. So that's basically it. My biggest tip for anyone out there who's starting in vlogging or adventuring and making videos, or they just take videos or pictures as just like maybe a fun hobby, is to take care of your cameras. I suggest that whenever you're not using your camera and you're not going to be using it a lot, to put it back into its case. I mean, so Casey, he does get free cameras and he gets free stuff all the time, so it is his stuff, so I guess he can do whatever he wants with it. And you know what's crazy is that Casey Neistat, he has a shelf dedicated to broken cameras and lenses. I mean, you gotta break a lot of cameras to have a shelf just for broken cameras, not only broken cameras, but lenses and other stuff. Kind of just like disrespectful to his equipment, as well as to like people out there who can't afford and can't get brand new cameras. It's almost like he doesn't like cameras. I mean, he'll just like toss his camera onto the counter, he'll get a brand new lens and like dump it out of a box and it'll like fall on the floor. Just it's almost painful watching his videos. Just seeing like a camera like fall into like the pavement and just go, ooh, it's just painful. But yeah, I like to take care of my cameras. Even if I was getting a bunch of free cameras, I still would take care of the camera that I'm using. Alright, well that's basically it for today's video. Make sure to tune in for tomorrow's vlog. Oh wait, yeah, quote. I'm just going to come up with a quote which I've heard in the past. So this quote my dad sometimes tells me. I kind of said this quote in the past, but I'll try to do a better time this time. The quote is, "It's all about the journey, not the destination." So what this quote means to me is that a lot of people overlook the journey and forget to enjoy the journey, and all they think about is the goal, like the destination. So that is good, and a lot of the times it's just like this awesome feeling when you get to the goal, but you got to make sure to enjoy the journey, because sometimes that's when you'll have the most fun, sometimes that's when you'll learn the most, that's when you'll probably learn the most amount of things. So make sure to enjoy the journey, because sometimes that's the funnest part. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, early in the morning.